You're proving to be quite a talent. It's been a real pleasure hearing what my CSIs have to say about your work so far. That's why I'm handing you this case. A respected surgeon was brutally killed in his home earlier this evening. We've got only one witness, the victim's wife, a blind woman. Greg will shadow you on this one. Maybe he can learn something from you.
Hey, thanks for coming aboard. From what I hear, you are the CSI to be partnered with these days. So anyway, welcome to the crime scene. Grisly murder, Vic upstairs in the bedroom. The decor? Early spatter. And his wife Amita didn't see a thing, being as she's blind. But we can count on her other senses being keen. So we have to interview her right now, despite her understandable shock.
Hey, looks like you got everything under control. I'll see you back at the office.
We're sorry to have to trouble you, Mrs. Banderit. We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We understand you found your husband.
My husband, Riot, he was very tired because he worked so very hard. He often went to bed early. Tonight, he went to bed early. I do, actually. It was just before the BBC NewsHour on the radio. That would make it around 7. I often stay up to listen. They play international music after the news. That would make it just after 9 p.m. when I went upstairs. I entered the bedroom as always, and as always I spoke to him. He did not sleep deep, and would greet me when I joined him. But he did not answer, even when I raised my voice. I went to him and found the awful moisture. I knew it was blood almost at once. I could smell the blood. I had some moments of panic, and then I went to the phone and called 911, but I knew it was too late. His breathing, I could not hear it. Yes, I am blind in both the practical and legal sense.
How well do you see?
I have basic light and dark sensitivity. I cannot see objects or shapes, so I must rely on my hearing. My ears have become my eyes. No, my ears were as blind to it as my eyes. You see, I did not like to disturb my husband. As I said, he was a light sleeper when he could get sleep at all, so I use headphones after he goes to bed. I did faintly detect footsteps on the stairs, but I thought those were my husband's. He would often come down for a drink of water, or perhaps to take sleep medication. I surely must have. I cannot be specific. I was almost immediately in a panic, and my memory is but a blur.
Your clothing shows no overt signs of bloodstain, Mrs. Banderit.
I do apologize for that. I know I have probably inadvertently hurt your evidence gathering, but I felt compelled to change, to wash my hands, so as not to sit and wait in my husband's blood. I do have the clothing for you.
Blood transfer fairly minimal on these clothes, consistent with her interview. Let's take a look at the scene.
I cannot be sure. Pryor usually locks up before going to bed, but as I say, he was especially tired. Perhaps he forgot. Such a thought is unthinkable. Pryor was a shining star in the Indian community, well liked by his peers, adored by his patients. He leaves a terrible void.
Dead or alive, I don't like touching insects. Grab it if you want. Grissom will appreciate it. Older style answering machine. Tape's missing. I guess they weren't getting their messages. Fairly small print. If it's the attackers, we may be looking for a female. Nice one. Almost missed it myself. How about you do your partner a favor and skip telling Grissom what I just said? Bloody fireplace poker, and my usage isn't British. Probably an impromptu weapon picked up here at the house. You're close. Try something similar. Nice catch. Let's see if we can flush out who drew a club in their poker hand. Height of the bloodstain indicates the attacker was short. 5'3", give or take. Definitely not a former NBA star. You know the saying, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, must be a duck? Don't try that one out on Grissom. Looks like tea, smells like tea, analyze it anyway. Massive bleeding from the head, spatter all around. Indicates blunt force trauma. Ceiling spatter is consistent with the blunt force object being swung back for another hard blow.
Such things were the province of my husband. It varies according to the brand. Typically, I wear a woman's size 8.
Mrs. Bandery, may we take your slippers for comparison purposes? We found a footprint on the stairs, and if it's not yours, might belong to an intruder.
You know I will do anything in my power to find the demon responsible.
You'll want a different tool for that. This doesn't look like anything from inside the house.
I can't think of anything I have.
Sure, well... Textbook case of death by forceful, blunt instrument impact. 4 medium impact blows, latter 2 drawing blood. Heavy dose in the VIX system, explaining the lack of defensive wounds on his arms and hands. Mr. Banderit was in a deep sleep that simply became permanent.
Asphalt. Sticky bun fresh, too. Banderits are in a new housing development, newly paved roads, so there's the source. Asphalt's on top of the blood stain, meaning the slipper picked it up after stepping in blood. You don't quite have a... Those two... Those two... Those two... It matches, but you're... Vic's blood on the fireplace poker. An object consistent with the ceiling's back spatter. Good bet we have our murder weapon. Those two don't. Those two don't. Those two. Those two. Those two. Those two. Those two... Those two... Can't rule out the missus. Not just yet. She cops to being in the house all along. Not only that, a blind person knows his or her house better than a sighted occupant.
I don't believe that I... Let me think. It was such a confusing evening. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, perhaps I did step outside.
Mrs. Banderit, fresh asphalt on your slippers indicates you wore them outdoors. Isn't that a little unusual?
In the cold light of reason, yes. But I was caught in the throes of panic, thinking an intruder might be in the house. I ran outside on impulse without any sense of my bearings. I did manage to find my way back home, and after several minutes, listening, felt I could risk going back and phone for help. I'm sorry I did not remember this sooner.
That's all right. But my partner and I will need to have a look around, outside. Somebody was in too much of a hurry to use their eyes backing out. Broken taillight, a fresh tread. Car backed up, bumped into the dumpster, then went up and over the curb and sped away. You're close. Try something similar. Mrs. Banderit says she went outside, and these droplets are consistent with what she told us. Make that what she finally told us. Those two don't match. Those two don't. Those two don't. Excellent. There's our make and model.
That's an easy one. Give me a sec to look it up. Vic had a legal prescription for the medication, strictly kosher.
I can't think of anything I haven't. I can't think of anything.
Those two don't. 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 Those two. Those two don't match. Those two. Those two. Those two. Those two. Those two. Those two. Print belongs to another eye surgeon, Adarsh Dewan. On visa sponsored by the Vic for his medical practice. No current address, though.
No current address for Dwan in the system. No vehicle registered in his name, either. I'll let the boys know Mr. Dwan is a person of interest, but he may well have split if he's involved.
Adarsh was my husband's junior partner at the medical practice. Very fond of him, Prayat was. Adarsh's parents were old family friends of Prayat's in India. Prayat sponsored his visa so he could come here and work.
Where is Mr. Dewan now? We have no address on him.
Odd as it may seem, neither do I. Mr. Dewan was in the process of finding a home. I believe he was living temporarily with friends, but I'm afraid I don't know where. I believe my husband mentioned Adarsh had purchased a truck. I don't remember any special model or, what is the word, make of the vehicle. And of course I have not seen it for myself.
Once you got enough evidence,